There you go. I like it.
You rise up in the morning beneath the stars so bright. Pull your hat down, make sure your cinch is tight. Horse is kind of snuffy, cold chill up your spine. You'll get your ass moving, son, we're burning daylight.
Howdy there. I'm Matt McKinley, and we're burning daylight.
In the saddle till the job's done right.
Welcome to Burning Daylight, the only podcast for the working cowboy. Oh, welcome back. Happy Thursday night, Daylight Burners, Monday or Friday morning for everybody that it's not on Patreon. But Kanye's back, and we're going to talk a little football because I got to tell you, the product on the field this year has been fucking excellent. Like they
very much so. I can't believe how many late comebacks and spoilers there were last
for
week.
real. Like it has been really tough to bet football. Well, college football is a different story, but NFL, man, even those big spreads that usually really go well for a teaser, man, they just haven't been hitting. I shared something like Seattle. Seattle was a 10-point dog, and I teased it up to 16 because I thought surely they'll cover that because they played the Broncos tough, and I thought the Broncos were pretty tough. I'm starting to rethink that decision. I think the Broncos may kind of suck. I don't know.
Yeah, I think a lot of that problem probably lies with the coaching, not knowing how to tell time.
Yeah, it's weird how that works. Yeah. Anyway, I gotta say though, the first 2 weeks of the NFL season have been pretty damn good watching. I've enjoyed it, and it sounds like the ratings are way up everywhere, and I'm seeing a lot more chatter on social media about just people chirping back and forth on football, and that's the world I like to live in.
Right.
I like that shit. So it's been a fun season to watch so far, and been some surprises, but not too many. Everybody thought that Buffalo was going to be good. Buffalo looks really fucking good. Damn near unstoppable.
If you're betting on football, you better be throwing money at the Bills to win and
just
annihilate any spread that they have.
Your bottom of the league is still the bottom of the league, but I don't know, but Miami looked fucking good. Miami looks really good.
In my fantasy league, I noticed that Tua put up almost 40 points, and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle both had over 40.
Yeah, I had Waddle on one of my fantasy leagues, and he was 43 points or something like that. Two touchdowns and over 100 yards. And
Right.
Same with Tyreek Hill. I don't know how many touchdowns Tyreek had, but he had over 100 yards. And
I think Tyreek had 180 on something like 11 catches.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure both of them had 2 tutties.
Yeah, I know Waddle had 2. I didn't know how many touchdowns Tyreek had, but I know they both had over 100 receiving. And I mean, that's you don't need Josh Allen or Aaron Rodgers for that offense. Tua will work just fine. That's basically what he did at Alabama. Just throw it up to studs.
When you got 2 guys that can run 4 140s, send them on go routes and
yeah.
I know. What's his name? McDaniels, is that the coach there at Miami now?
I think so, but it's not Josh McDaniels. It's the other McDaniels.
Right. He said the big play to Tyreek was kind of a fuck it play. He said.
Really?
It wound up being, we seen him going, and Tua just hucked it up and said, fuck it, hope he's there.
See, he's got the best of both worlds because like you can send Waddle long and just toss it up. You can send Tyreek long and toss it up, or you could just dump it right here to Tyreek and he'll still just go off like that. That
Or
guy's
you got
so
Gesicki,
fast.
the tight end that can play the
Yeah.
short man if your deep guys don't get it.
Who they got? Kenyon Drake in the backfield.
Kenyon Drake and Raheem Mostert is there?
Oh shit, he's kind of a bruiser. That's not a keep an eye on Miami. They could be good.
Yeah, I think they're gonna beat the Bucks out for at least the division.
Yeah, they're AFC, so it'd be the Patriots, the Bills, Miami, and the Jets. Yeah, the Jets ain't gonna do shit.
Tom's not with New England anymore.
I know, it's weird. Still, 3 years later, it's still weird.
He's not looking very good this year either.
No, but he also always kind of starts slow too. So
he's ranked 29th out of the 32 starting quarterbacks.
Yeah, but remember, this is the narrative every year. So until Tom Brady is shitty at the end of the season, I don't care. Like up until that point, until he's out of the playoffs, like I'm not writing that dude off because he's just you can't at this point. Everybody hates the guy, but most true football people have kind of come around with like, fuck, that guy's good. God damn it, that guy's good. You know, just like I don't like him, but fuck, he's good. And
I guess to a point. I think when you gotta buy players in to help him. I mean, if you got the money to do it, you're building a team essentially. So why not, buy in a bunch of badasses? But
yeah, I don't know. And like I said, until he proves otherwise, I don't bet against him. Like I might bet the spread, but I ain't gonna bet him to lose until he proves otherwise.
I would bet against him this weekend.
This weekend, maybe so. Who are they playing this week?
They play Green Bay, but he doesn't have Evans because Evans is on a 1-game suspension for his.
Oh, because he started some shit, and then he started some shit, and then Evans jumped in. So yeah, you might be right. Well, I'm gonna pull up ESPN as well. And get the if there's any injury updates, but I think we'll just go right down to my bookie lines and see where we're at, and then if there's anything that seems weird, we'll go to ESPN and see what the stats are and who's out and whatnot. But the one thing you can always pretty well count on is Vegas is good at what they do. Like they're still in business because they know how gambling works, and they know how to set a line. So even when you see a line, they're way wrong. They still might be wrong. Don't get me wrong, but they know what they're doing. They don't just blindly set a line. They're in the business of making money, so they're usually pretty spot on. And if there's a line out there that looks weird, it's probably because they know something that we don't.
Starting to feel like they got their fingers in it a little bit.
Maybe so. I wouldn't be surprised. It is sports betting, and they've never had a good past. So it's kind of like the FBI. When has the FBI ever had a good reputation? Never. When has sports betting had a stellar reputation? Never. So
when you set a line at 49.5 and it winds up 49, it seems a little
they do it every fucking week though, and so at some point you're just like, either they know what they're doing or they got their finger in it, or probably a little bit of both. But
probably a little bit of both.
We are let's see, we're minute and 15 left in the third quarter. Steelers at the Browns. This is kind of a gross game, but it's been pretty decent to watch so far, really. It's
I was watching it while I was down here, mainly because I have Nick Chubb on my fantasy, so I was hoping he was going to get a little more production like he did last week, but I think he's going to bust this week from what it seems like, unless they can get him in the end zone to at least.
I needed a touchdown from somebody, and preferably the Steelers, because I did a little same game parlay, and I took the Steelers at +4.5 and the over at 38. I figured I was guessing like I'm guessing like a 24-21 game is kind of what I'm thinking. Either way, I don't know who wins that, but as long as it's within a field goal, I'm good. And over 20. I think we're kind of heading that way. But it's a classic NFC North game. It just bruiser.
Classic Cleveland versus Pittsburgh, because that one's always close.
Yeah, and there hasn't been any fights yet, but it's been pretty damn chippy. But I mean, it's Cleveland Pittsburgh. That's what they do.
Did you see the George Pickens one-hander?
Yeah, that was sick.
Holy cow!
Yeah, that was good. Just think if he had
back to like that Odell Beckham catch, but
yeah, it was a whole different.
Close.
It was a different type of catch, but it was awesome. That Odell Beckham catch, that was something of a fucking video game. And then, but they did make a good point. By the way, like the Thursday night games have been awesome so far too. Like,
holy cow. Yeah. Amazon, for what they're, buying into this deal. And I heard something on the Pat McAfee podcast this week that last week for that first Amazon game or the Prime Video game, they got more new customers because of just the Thursday night game than they had in 10 years combined.
Yeah, I was listening to McAfee, and they've got fucking Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit as that's the best duo in the game right now. Like,
absolutely.
I've always loved Al Michaels, but I hated listening to him because he was with Chris Collinsworth for the last however long, and can't stand Collinsworth. Herbstreit's always been good. I didn't know how good he was going to do on NFL, but he's fucking just slid right in, and him and Al Michaels seem like they get along good, and it's like they're doing it up right. It's easy to hate on Amazon, but for a Thursday night game, they've got the big games. Usually Thursday nights, the games that nobody wants to fucking watch is like Jacksonville at Chicago.
Yeah.
And just garbage games, or it's like the Jets and the Lions, or just garbage. But we've had really good games so far. Even this one is like, the Steelers Browns. It's not a great matchup, but it's one of those matchups that it's going to be a good watch just because it's a rivalry, and it has been. So I don't know.
You get a lot of defense and then the occasional play. So you're getting to watch both sides really have to dogfight versus, they're still scoring points. It's not a 0-0 or a 3-7 game, whatever.
Right.
Each team is having to fight to get where they're at, but defenses are standing up and doing their job.
Well, and if you look at the other two teams in the NFC North, you got the Bengals, who are not looking great. Like, dude, they've got
Super Bowl hangover
a little bit, but it's just the same old Bengals story. They've got a great quarterback and nobody in front of him. Like, they got great receivers, great quarterback, got a good running back, and no offensive line.
But they're not even that. The problem is they're not using Joe Mixon.
No, not at all. But
I know, like, one of the guys I work with sent me a message on Facebook last Sunday that he put in a parlay, and it was kind of like a props parlay. He put Joe Mixon to have over 72 rushing yards, and some other guy to have over 80 rushing yards, and then I think he bet on the Denver game for them to or cover the spread or win or something like that. But neither of the running backs that he bet in the player props even came close to. I think Joe Mixon had like 59 yards last week.
Yeah, it was on like 15 carries or something like that too.
Yeah.
He's only getting like 2 to 3 yards a carry, and
That offensive
that's
line is just
it's
not
garbage.
helping their case. Yeah.
Garbage. And they're on the verge of ruining like kind of a once in a generation talent too. It's
Right.
it's David Carr all over again, you know. Like
Yeah.
he's on pace to break David Carr's sack record, which is 76 and or 72, and Burrow's on pace for 76 sacks this year. And like anybody's gonna get hurt doing that shit. But
I don't even
know
who
that
they have as a backup either.
yeah, I couldn't tell you. And then you got the Ravens, who Lamar Jackson's gonna have he's gonna have a year. He's
Lamar
playing for a
Jackson put up
contract.
over 40 fantasy points and still lost that game.
I know. And like it wasn't on Lamar Jackson they lost that. That dude was balled out, and he's gonna ball out all year until he gets hurt. That dude is gonna put up some fucking points because he's trying to make some money.
He broke Michael Vick's record.
Yeah, I saw that.
He broke his record, and he also set an NFL record for the first quarterback with, was it like over 100 passing yards and over 100 rushing yards in a game?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was 2 or so many consecutive games or whatever. I don't know. It's something stupid. Like that guy's a video game character.
Oh, he broke Vick's record for over 100-yard rushing games. He has 11. Vick had 10.
That's right. That's what it was. Yeah.
And
man, I saw
an NFL record of over 100 yards passing and 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, it's insane. And when you watch somebody like that live, until you like see how fast they actually are, because I got to see Vic at Mile High, and god damn, that guy was fast, like just so fast. It doesn't really translate on the TV just how fast they are.
Right.
And I guess Lamar Jackson's the same way. I haven't seen him play live, but that's what everybody says. He's just like that. He's a video game character, and he's trying to get 250 million guaranteed. So he's going to ball out until he gets hurt. But
I don't know how Deshaun Watson got that deal.
I don't know either. I don't know either, but he did. And then, so I guess to wrap it all up, like I was saying, is even though this game is kind of gross right now, it could mean something because the NFC North is wide open. Like the Browns look okay right now. They lost to the Jets, but they won the first game, and they've got a good team. They've got good players. And when Deshaun comes back week 11, if they're still in it, look out. They might take the NFC North. Who the fuck knows?
Right.
Because Cincinnati doesn't look good. Pittsburgh doesn't look good, but they don't look bad. And if TJ Watt is able to come back this year, that guy changes the game.
On the defensive side, you can't trust Mitchell Trubisky. No,
you can't. But if the defense keeps him in, I mean, it's just like the Broncos when they had Tebow, and then when they had Manning, at the end of Manning's career. If the defense can keep you in it, you don't need a great quarterback, but
give you a chance at least.
Yeah, and they've got that type of defense that could. So, I mean, if Mitchell Trubisky doesn't have 6 games with 2 or more picks, then you could look at the Steelers being in the playoff picture. Browns maybe. The Ravens will be in there. Cincinnati, I hate to write them off, but if something doesn't change on that offensive line, you can kind of kiss away the Bengals year. They ain't going to do shit.
I think this is the Ravens division this year. The way I
think so too, but like it's pretty wide open. So anyway, it's what is it? 14-13 or 16-14 Cleveland right now.
Did they just kick a field goal? I seen they were in the red zone.
Yeah, they kicked a field goal. Well, they're at the 1 right now. So 3rd and goal at the 1. Oh, they stopped him. Huh. 4th and goal. And they're 16-14 with 10 minutes left. Man, I think I'd go for it right there. Punch it in
you
or
almost
not.
have to. Almost have to.
And if not, they're on the 1. Just shit, you got Chubb back there. Just they're going for it.
Pitch him the ball and let him go outside.
We'll go ahead and put the audio on.
Put Footbawll in there at fullback and give the ball to Chubb.
Yep, he's in.
Makes it look easy.
There we go.
All right, that makes Chubb a little bit of a fantasy rebound for me, at least.
I got Deontay Johnson. I haven't seen what he's done, but as long as he puts it.
4th and goal, first time of the night.
4 or 5 catches. He's been all right so far tonight.
Yeah, he's been solid. If he had a quarterback, he'd be pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, look at Pittsburgh here in a couple of years. We'll see how that who's the kid that they drafted that went to Pitt?
Kenny Pickett.
Yeah. We'll see how he comes around, because if that guy's any good, Pittsburgh's always going to be that team that'll just hit you in the fucking nose. But if they get another quarterback, something like Roethlisberger, where he's just a hard nose and can throw when he needs to, Pittsburgh is always going to be tough.
Yeah.
And it's good for football when Pittsburgh's good. There's certain teams where it's just good for the Packers. When they're good, that's good for the whole league.
When the Patriots suck, that's great for the whole league.
Yeah, but it's also good when they're good, because everybody hates them. So,
right.
So, all right. So we got Baltimore at New England. Baltimore's minus 154 on the money line, minus 3 on the spread, over at 44. So they're talking a 24-21 game, basically. 24-20 game.
Week, I'd say give me the over, because Baltimore's probably going to put up all of those points.
I think so. New England's got a good defense, but not that good.
Right. Give me Baltimore either way, spread or money line. It doesn't matter. Whatever's going to win me more money.
Yeah, I think I'd take. I think I'll do a little same game parlay. Do the minus 3 and the over 44, and give me Baltimore on that. New England. We'll see how they look about week 6 or so when shit starts clicking, because right now they look like they're just not on the same page.
I think all of that comes in, like, they don't have an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels is gone, so
yeah, they don't have a set offensive coordinator. So
when they wasn't Vrabel, not Vrabel, but who's the other bearded guy from New England? He went and coached up at Detroit. He was head coach for Detroit for a minute, and then he sucked, and they. Patricia.
Yes, Matt Patricia.
He was their D coordinator before he went to Detroit, and then they had him calling offensive plays the other day, and it wasn't looking good. So
yeah, they tried it, not working.
Yeah, you'll see Belichick calling the offense here before too long. I wouldn't put that past him, but yeah, give me the Ravens. Ravens. I think that over looks pretty good too. Yeah. Lamar's going to ball out. He's going to put up some points. This is the stinker of the week. It's the Bengals at the Jets. I hate everything about this game.
Give me the Jets, dude.
Fuck. It's I got the Bengals at -6 favorites, -265 on the money line, over at 45. I'm going to stay away from the total, but yeah, give me the Jets.
give me the under and give me the Jets +6 all day.
Yeah. Give me the Jets +6. I'll take that straight up. And then I'm going to put the Jets in all sorts of teasers. Give me the Jets at +12 and all the fucking teasers, dude.
Yeah. The way they looked coming back against Cleveland last week, Joe Flacco's looking like he did when he was in Baltimore.
He looks all right. I wish he would have done that when he was at the fucking Broncos, but whatever.
Well, and he's got receivers right now.
Yeah, I got that one guy. I forget his name. Greg. Yeah, Wilson.
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, and I had him on the bench when he went off this week. Yeah, but I didn't know who the fuck he was, because they're just like the Jets.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, and I went on auto draft, so I was like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is at all. And then I'm looking throughout the day, and I was like, oh, this kid can play. The next thing you know, he's got like 33 points on the bench. Fuck. All right. Well, either way, that's a good one to have on the bench. Game of the week is Buffalo at Miami. I think that's going to tell a lot for the rest of the season. Buffalo's -235 on the money line. Spreads at -5.5. Over at 52.5.
Give me the over.
Give me the over and give me Miami.
Ooh, I don't know. See, I think as much as I think Tua can ball out, Josh Allen is the guy.
Oh, I think so. If we're talking money line, give me Buffalo, but there's no value there. But I think 5.5.
I think they're going to win by 7. They're going to win by a touchdown.
They could, but it's also September in Miami, so it's going to be hot and humid coming from Buffalo. So that's one thing I'll say. And Miami's always just kind of
Miami.
It's in Miami.
That might change a little bit. Yes.
Yeah. That's the only reason. I think that if this is in Buffalo, like, give me the Bills +10 or -10, but in Miami, I think Miami can cover. I could see that being a 4, field goal or like a 4-point game. Over, I think for sure over. They're going to fucking score. But it's going to be like a Von Miller sack that saves them, and Buffalo wins that. So like, if that's not a bad one for a parlay, if you take the Bills straight up, that's not a bad. It's also not a bad teaser game either way.
What time is that game?
That's an early game, 11 Eastern.
Okay.
11 Eastern.
That'll be a really good one to start the day.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. Man, and then Tua's what, in his third year? Or is it his second year?
Third or fourth? I feel like it's his third year.
I think it's his third year too, because Mac Jones came after him, right?
Mac Jones is in his second year.
Yeah, and so Tua was at Alabama the year before Mac Jones. Yeah, so Tua's in his third year. And Lamar Jackson's from Miami, and he's been retweeting shit about him going to Miami. So that's kind of, who knows? It's always the drama, but that's kind of where people are thinking he's angling, like where he's going to go is Miami. So either way, Tua's going to have to put up or shut up too, but they still got him another year before they even have to, pick up his options. So, yeah. So I don't know.
And I feel like if Lamar has even one more game the way he has played the first 2, Baltimore's definitely going to send him whatever the hell he wants to stay there.
Yeah, just back up the truck, because like he's not going to be around for a long time. He might only make it 10 years, but fuck, those are going to be that's going to be a good 10 years.
Going to be another Michael Vick.
Yeah, exactly. And while you're there, you're going to make all the money. So just give him what he wants.
Yeah. The problem
Or-
is he wants the Deshaun Watson kind of money.
Yeah, he wants it all guaranteed. But yeah. Hey, when you give it to a creep like Deshaun and Lamar's been just nothing short of like the guy you want. But
Right.
not only
MVP
not only has he
season.
performed, but he puts on a show too. Puts fucking asses in the seats. So I don't know. It's I don't know. I think anybody that has the money to throw at Lamar Jackson next year, they'd be stupid not to, because that guy's gonna make you so much money. And probably, I mean, he's gonna win you some games, but pretty good chance he'll win you a Super Bowl too. Like you put the right team around him, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, give me I think give me the Dolphins at plus 5.5 and the over at 52.5. It's not a bad, or you could do either way on that. Take the over and either one on the points, and that's a pretty decent same game parlay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna lean more towards the Bills and over for sure.
Yeah, it's not, like I said, it's not a bad pick. Looking at how the Bills have been, that's a great pick, but I'll go just with the fact that it's in Miami, and Miami's look really fucking good. Over, I think over is a given, but
over is lock for sure.
Yeah. And you put that in a 6-point teaser either way, that's a solid pick.
I can't believe it's 6 points.
Yeah. Yeah, my bookie does 7-point teasers nowadays.
Really?
Yeah, they do 6, 6.5, and 7.
That's weird. And most of them don't want to go on that even 7 because they don't like push it because it doesn't make them money. And
yeah, I don't know. It's I haven't put anything in a 7-point teaser yet because the odds go down just a little bit, not much, but
right.
I might start playing around with it. Detroit at Minnesota. I don't like that at all, but Minnesota is minus 255 favorite. Spreads at 6. 53 for the over. I haven't watched Detroit, but they've not been terrible, I guess.
Give me Detroit. They've looked really, really good this year. And Minnesota looked good against Green Bay week 1, and they looked
like dog shit
against Philly.
Man, yeah, so
I saw
if there's a lock ever, is bet against Kirk Cousins in prime time. That dude cannot perform under the lights.
I saw a meme earlier, I think maybe it was yesterday, but it said every once in a while he'll have a game of like 165 yards and 3 picks, just to remind you that he's still Kirk Cousins.
He still is Kirk Cousins, yeah. And this will be a game where he goes off because it's at 11 a.m. Eastern at Minnesota, so nobody's going to be fucking watching it. And he'll probably put up 500 yards just because.
I think Detroit's got that game.
I
almost take Detroit on the money the way they look right now.
It's plus 202 on the money line. That's not a bad $5 bet there. Just throw a little bet on that. Yeah,
Jared
that
Goff
pays
is
good.
looking a little more settled with that offense this year. They've got DeAndre Swift, who is a stud running back, and that Amon St. Brown. Fantasy, and he is boomed both weeks so far.
Huh?
Like doubled, or I think last week he even tripled what the
projection was. Yeah.
He had over 30 points last week.
Yeah.
11 catches for 100 and some yards and 2 touchdowns. And he had 2 rushes for, I think, 39 yards, I think. So they're even using him in jet sweeps. I mean, that kid.
Yeah.
Kid's got hands.
Well, and if you're doing like daily fantasy or you're doing prop bets, take Justin Jefferson on the over of everything. That dude is a fucking stud.
Probably cost a bunch of people money last week, though.
Oh, I know. But look for him to have a rebound game. That dude is a stud. Like you can't blame anything on him last week. That was all on the play call and Kirk Cousins, because every time Justin Jefferson caught the ball, it was it was yards after the catch too. Like that dude is that dude's fucking legit. Like that, he's really good. I'm gonna stay away from that game. I don't like it much. I might take the over on it. It's 53 is the over. Maybe
I'd say under.
Yeah, I don't know.
If I was betting, I'd go under.
The overs on the NFL are pretty tough. Those defenses are, even the shitty defenses are good enough to keep it manageable. So I don't. Overs a pretty risky bet in the NFL. Saints at the Panthers. That's another game I hate. Saints are minus 149 on the money line, 3 on the spread, 41 for the over. So they're saying what is that? That's a
20 to 21 game.
Yeah, 2021. Man,
Saints minus 3 and give me the over.
The over shouldn't be hard to hit. That'd be a pretty good one to hammer the over on. I don't know what have the Panthers done. They haven't done much, have they?
They lost to the Browns in week 1, and I'm almost positive they lost last week. They've got Baker now, and Baker looks really good there.
They just don't have anything around him, though, do they?
Too much without Christian McCaffrey being their workhorse. Because he's injury prone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when that guy is healthy, he's unstoppable, but he's always fucking hurt.
Much, and then he gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to cut his touches down a little bit. They've got Baker, who, in my opinion, is a top 15 quarterback when you have weapons for him.
Right.
Carolina does not really have any weapons. I think maybe he has Robbie Anderson. That's it.
Robbie Anderson's always a solid he's always a solid wide receiver 2 in fantasy. Like doesn't matter what team he's on, he'll just put up points. I don't know how he does it, but he's never had a good quarterback and always is like a top 20 receiver in fantasy.
He's been the guy.
Yeah. Can you imagine if he had
nobody picks him up that has a number 1 and a number 2 receiver already, or even a number 1. Teams that pick him up are like the Jets, Carolina.
Yeah.
He could probably go to Cleveland, where they don't. Not Cleveland now because they got Amari Cooper and Jones, but like they bring him in to be their number 1.
Yeah. Well, can you imagine if he had Mahomes or Rodgers or Brady or somebody throwing to him? That guy would put up video game numbers. Yeah,
he'd be probably another Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. Yeah, like he's good. He just never has a quarterback. Until he retires or until he just like puts up a dud of a year, just pick him up because he's always at the minimum he's a good flex play on fantasy. Detroit, Minnesota, I'm going to stay away from that. Saints at Carolina, I'm going to stay away from that too. Saints is probably probably your best pick on that. The over looks pretty decent, but I could also see this being like a 16-10 game too, because you never know.
The Saints looked really good playing Tampa.
Yeah.
The only reason they lost is that pick 6, in my opinion.
Well, but it's also Jameis throwing the ball too, so he could put up 5 picks, or he could put up 5 touchdowns. Who the fuck knows? That's how he goes. I don't know. I'll probably stay away from that game. Chiefs at the Colts. The Colts look like dog shit.
I used my number 1 draft pick. I had the number 1 draft pick in my fantasy league this year, and I picked up Jonathan Taylor. And he got 7 points last week. Matt Ryan had both of his top receivers, Michael Pittman and I can never remember the other kid's name. Both of his top 2 receivers were out last week. Why would you not lean on that run game?
Well, and he's the type of guy, like, the more you feed, he's like Derrick Henry. The more you feed him, the stronger he gets. Like that's the type of running back he is. Like, he's not a change of pace guy. He's not a third down guy. No, he's like, if we got a 15 play drive, I want the ball 10 times. Like, that's
well, and I think this is his second, if I'm not mistaken, it's his second year, if not his third year.
I think it's his third.
I thought he was a rookie last year, but I could be wrong. But
you might be right. I'm not for sure on that.
That kid has football smarts.
Yeah.
He knows, like, he can run at a guy, at the same linebacker all night in the A gap or the B gap, wherever they set it. Just stare him in the face and hit him, gain his 2-3 yards.
Yeah.
Until the second half. And then he's got that guy set up thinking he's going right through that gap all night.
Yeah. And then he'll
bounce outside and be gone for 6.
Yeah. See, and this is good because we listened to the same exact synopsis of that because it was LT talking about it. He said he ran that same play over and over and over until he knows that linebacker is going to bite every time, and then it's just a plant one time and boom, and he's gone. And that's, I mean, as a Bronco fan, I watched it over and over and over. LT would just put a dagger in your heart. Like, you think you're going to win that, and all of a sudden he'd bust one open for 75. And like every single like major record that LaDainian Tomlinson was broke against the fucking Broncos. Like I almost guarantee you. And you're just like fuck that guy, but at the same time you're just like, man, he's good. Man, he's good. And that's
the Chiefs for a handful of years too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's back when the Chiefs weren't weren't really in contention. Now, like, it'd be interesting to see a guy like LT in the AFC West right now. The AFC West I don't think the Broncos are that good, but I think when we start playing division games, those division games are going to be awesome. Like, fucking awesome.
I think looking at Denver, I would say y'all can give Kansas City a run. But if Justin Herbert is healthy when Denver plays them, no chance against the Chargers. Did you leave me? Probably. I'm the only one on here.
There we
Apparently, Matt's. Oh, there we go.
There we are. No, I think that Herbert's a really good player. I just don't trust the Chargers organization. Like, they've been so many times where they've been like the team to beat, and then they're out in the first round of the playoffs. And so, but when you look at the defense that they've put together, they got Bosa, they've got Derwin James, who's the fucking line? Oh, Malik Jackson. Is it Malik Jackson?
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack, that's who it is. Yeah. They've got like future Hall of Famers at all levels of the defense. So they're going to be in it. Kansas City, when they show up and they actually play, I don't know if anybody can beat them, but they also just kind of like play down to the competition too. So I don't know. I wouldn't bet on the Chiefs, just like that, because they're always going to be favored. They're going to be huge favorites. So there's no value at picking them heads up. And then they just don't cover the spread very often. But this one, give me the Chiefs all day at -5.5 against the fucking Colts.
Yeah.
And overs at 50.5.
Under.
Yeah, I think an under is pretty good bet on that. Kansas City's -243 money line. There's not much money there, but It'd be a good one to throw it in on a parlay. Yeah, the Chiefs Chiefs are gonna roll.
Does your bookie do round robins?
How does that work?
So it depends on how many legs you want to put into it. But for example, let's say a 5-leg round robin. So you pick 5 games. Who you think is going to be the winner?
Okay.
That turns into multiple bets.
Okay.
So you got 5 teams. So one plays team 2 and team 3 and team 4 and team 5. 2 will play 1, 3, 4, 5. 3 will play. So it's essentially they call it a 5-leg round robin, but each team goes against every other that you have on your round robin.
Huh.
And you can make from what I've seen, you can make quite a bit of money doing them as long as you have the right picks. Because you may put $10 a game or $10 in on a 5-leg. So you got $50 in it. But if at least 3 of them win, you come out on top.
All right, so I'll put it up here, but I've got they've got a deal. It's called an if bet, and I don't know exactly what that means, but so I've not seen a round robin on there yet, but so the if bet is so that's is it win or winner tie is what they.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they don't do the round robin bets, but I haven't heard of that, but I'd be interested. That'd be one to do with all like the heavy favorites, like anything that's over 2-1 favorites. You know,
right.
that'd be a good. Those would be like that. Those are good for parlays or anything with a big spread. Those are fun to play the teasers with, but yeah, but like picking the Chiefs straight up this year, you're not gonna there's no value in it. Like you'll win, but you're not gonna win much.
Yeah. That's
also
worth betting on with where they're setting.
Yeah. So like you're turning a $5 bet into, you get $250 back. Right. And so you come out $250 ahead, but I mean, you're still winning. So like, I guess if you're doing it as like an investment strategy type deal, that'd be the way to go. But because you're going to win more often than you lose, but when you lose, you're going to lose bigger, because it's just you're not winning much when you bet on those. But the Eagles at the fucking Redskins, Washington, they should have just stayed with the Washington football team. I actually kind of liked that.
Yeah, it was growing on me. The Commanders is kind of weird.
I don't like the Commanders at all.
Did you see their marketing?
No.
So somebody screwed up somewhere along the line, but the Washington Commanders are based out of Washington, D.C., right?
Yeah.
Somebody screwed up and put the Washington Commanders W with the background of the state of Washington. And they put it on coffee mugs and put it out on shelves.
No shit.
Yetis and regular coffee cups and
all
kinds of stuff. They put it out. I don't know who let that slip either.
But because that had to go through so many people. Like that's not a mom and pop outfit where you just all right, here's the design, I'm printing it today. No, that has to clear 50 different people before it ever becomes an idea, and then it has to clear another 50 different people before it makes it to the printer.
Yes.
I don't know. It's strange how some of that shit works. But Philly is minus 289 on the money line, 6.5 on the spread. 47 for the over. Give me that over. I'll take that.
Give me Philly in the over.
Yeah, I think
Philly
so.
minus points in the over.
Dude,
Especially the way they looked the other night.
Jalen Hurts looks really good. He made no mistakes.
Jalen Hurts cost me a win in my fantasy last week. I was up by 40.
Yeah.
And I had 152 points.
Oh, shit.
The guy I was playing was down by at least, I think it was a little over 40. Had Jalen Hurts and Buffalo's kicker. Buffalo's kicker put up 12 and Jalen put up 33 something, and I lost by 6.
I was going to say, because I had Jalen Hurts and Jalen Waddle, and between the two of them, I think I had 70 points.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
70, or should have been like 70.
It'd been closer to 80 probably, but yeah, just between the two of them. And I think I think I came out with like 182 for the week. It was stupid.
And then put Buffalo's defense on top of that. They put up 22.
I will say Buffalo and Philly saved me from having a losing week. I had lost every bet up until the 2 Monday night games. And I hated the format of the Monday night games. They were at the same time and on different channels, and they didn't have the Manning cast either. And I kind of like the Manning cast for the Monday night games, but either way, Buffalo and Philly both. I did a same game parlay on them, and I did I picked them both on the spread live. It was a live deal, and they were up big, and they just kept the hammer down, and so that put me even for the week. Yeah, give me Philly at 6.5 and the over, and I will probably take that in a bunch of teasers too.
Yeah, player props.
Like that's. Yeah, if you take Philly down to -0.5, fuck. For any teaser, that works. Raiders at the Texans. That's gross.
Raiders
are
probably
-1
money.
-129, so it's not bad. 2 is the spread and 45.5 for the over. I'll probably take the under on that. The Raiders, could put up 46 on their own. But they won't. And
no.
Probably Derrick Henry's probably not going to really get going until probably like week 5 or 6. So yeah. Give me the Raiders. I'll probably just take Raiders money line. I don't know if I'll do any.
If it's only 2, give me Raiders on the spread and under.
Yeah, it's not a bad. Do Raiders on a 6 or 7 point teaser too. That's not a bad pick. Oh shit! We got 23-17 with a minute 46 left. The Browns are up 23-17, and who's got the ball? Looks like Cleveland's got the ball there. I don't know. There's a flag on the play. Either way, they hit the over. Pittsburgh's just needs to cover. Oh, this is the stinker of the week. I said it wrong. Houston at Chicago. Fucking gross. Chicago is -144 on the money line. Spreads 2, over is 40.
Oh, that is tough. That's a hard one to pick because Chicago looked good against the Niners, but that was inclement weather that saved them.
Yeah.
Then they look like garbage against Green Bay Sunday night. They did have a pretty decent.
And Green Bay's offense looked terrible and they still looked way better than the Bears.
Yeah. I don't think they look terrible, but it is, we're still trying to get rookies playing. We did get Lazard back for the first time this year. The defense looked really, really good.
The defense is
one.
Yeah. Yeah, their defense is solid. They got a good defense. Yeah, I think if you take the over down to 34 or 33 or 34 and take that in a teaser maybe, but you're a junkie if you're betting that game. Fuck that.
What's the spread on that?
2.5.
To Chicago? Or to
Chicago, yeah. Chicago's 2.5 point favorites.
Yeah, I don't think I'm betting on that game.
I wouldn't touch that. Like I said, that's junky shit. Like that's if and it's an early game, so like if you're already out at that point, like Chicago ain't gonna save you there. So just stay away from that game. If it was a Monday night, maybe I'd bet on it, but it's an early Sunday game. Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that.
Save your money. Jacksonville at the Chargers. Chargers are minus 330 on the money, 7 points on the spread. 47's the over. I'd probably tease the over, take it down to 40 or 41, and then take the over. But
no, give me the over.
You think so?
Give me
I think
over.
Jacksonville's going to put up. They're calling.
Jacksonville probably put up 14.
See, they're calling for a 27-20 game because it's 47 over, spread 7. Yeah, so they're calling 27-20.
Jacksonville put up 14, maybe 17, but the Chargers are going to put up 32 to 35. So the
Chargers are going to put up some points for sure. So,
and that's if Keenan Allen isn't playing. If Keenan Allen's playing, Chargers are taking that whole spread or that whole over.
Yeah, they could
themselves.
hit. Yeah, they could hit 47 on their own. I'm going to take that in some teasers for sure. And I'll probably take Chargers money line in a bunch of parlays. Yeah,
I'm that's a prop in on that and give me Justin Herbert with 3 passing tutties.
Oh yeah, and plus 300.
4 passing touchdowns for Herbert on that game.
Let me see what the player props on there, because at 300 yards, I bet that's pretty good odds too. Oh, they changed their player props too. Damn them. I don't even know how to get to it anymore. Anyway, that'd be a good one to bet too, is Justin Herbert plus 300 and 4 touchdowns. That's going to pay out good. So if that hits, that's a good one. All right, we got 23-17, 36 seconds left. They're measuring for a first down. Looks like they got it. That's game. Damn you, Pittsburgh. All you had to do was score 2 more points. 2 points.
Why are you betting on Pittsburgh to cover?
That was 4.5.
You ought to know better by now.
I know it. I almost took it in a teaser, but then there's no value. So yeah.
Should have bet Cleveland heads up on that. Cleveland's beat Pittsburgh the last 3 times they played them.
Yeah, but they were pretty big favorites too. So either way, Jacksonville at the Chargers. That's a good one to throw into some parlays and some teasers. Green Bay at Tampa. That's about as close as you get. It's Green Bay is a minus 103 favorite, or 103 on the money line. Tampa's minus 116. The spread's 1. and the over is 41.5. So that's a pick'em game. A slight edge to the Bucks just for the home team. That's as far as the line goes. That's as close as it gets to a pick'em.
Give me Green Bay. You said 41?
You going money line or you going spread?
Either way, it don't
Yeah,
matter.
I mean it's the same. You got better odds at money line, so money line's -103 as opposed to -110 on the spread. So yeah, take a money line if you're taking Packers, and I bet the over hits.
Oh yeah, over for sure.
I think so. It's in Tampa. I know Green Bay hasn't put up many points yet, but also Rodgers didn't play the preseason. Yeah, and Tampa didn't. I don't know. Did Rodgers play preseason? I mean, Rodgers didn't, but did Brady?
Brady played preseason, yes.
Okay. But Evans is out, so yeah, give me the Packers
Evans
on that.
Evans is out. I think that linebacker White. What the heck is his first name?
Oh,
I keep wanting to say Tre'Davious, but I feel like that's not right. I'm pretty sure he's game time decision, and they're missing another linebacker, I believe. Yeah, I'm thinking of a different team, but I'm pretty sure White's a game time decision, and Tampa's also missing another linebacker.
Yeah. It's going to be a close game, though, so it's another good teaser game. Either tease the over down, and either I would tease the Bucks up to -7, or tease the Packers up to to +8 or whatever. Either way, that's a good teaser bet because both teams are going to cover one way or the other, however you tease it. So, yeah.
And if there's any player props on Green Bay's running backs,
oh yeah, take those. Take them both.
Up. Yeah.
They're Green Bay's a running team primarily this year. Like they got the best quarterback in the league, but they've also got the best running back duo too. So
we've also got 2 veteran receivers with the rest of them filled out with rookies.
Yeah, and then Tanyan's still there, isn't he? That's a really good tight end. Like he's not gonna.
He's got 2 games in on coming back off a 9-month injury. Got Mercedes Lewis, who is primarily used as like a running block or run block tight end. And then DeGuara usually kind of fills in as a fullback position, but he's technically a tight end.
Yeah. Green Bay is going to put up some points this year. It might take them a few weeks to catch rhythm, I think.
I think game 1 goes 1,000 times different if the very first play that we had from scrimmage when Rodgers threw up that ball to Christian Watson.
Yeah.
And if he would have caught that ball, that guaranteed would have been a touchdown.
Yeah, there wasn't anybody around him.
We just sailed out of that game winning that for sure, probably at least by a touchdown, if not more.
Probably so. But also, I do enjoy watching all the Packers fans rationalize how shit went, because you guys are the most cult-like of any fan base in the NFL. Don't get me wrong, I love the Packers. I was a Favre fan back in the day. I'm kind of a Packers, but I'm not a cheesehead. Like the cheeseheads are. They don't listen to logic either. Like they know football, but like when it comes to the Packers, all football logic goes out the windows, and it's just the Packers.
I play both sides of that. I kind of know we're going to struggle this year.
Yeah.
I felt like until Monday night that Minnesota might win the division. But after watching choke that down the drain to Philly. But Philly's not a bad team either.
No,
They've got
I
really
think
good weapons. They've got a
I think Philly's a really good team. Like I don't
Yeah.
think they're a great team yet, but I think they're a really good team.
they are building to be a great team.
What I saw was a really stout bend but don't break defense because Philly's defense allowed a lot of yards, but they had 3 picks in the red zone, 2 of them in the in the end zone, and and they only gave up 7 points. They gave up a ton of yards. Like if you take the interceptions away from Kirk Cousins, like he had a pretty decent game.
Right.
But the 3 picks in the red zone, that really hurts. And it, that Darius Slay, I think is his name. That dude was all over the place. That's a good defense. And Jalen Hurts made no mistakes. And honestly, like when he had a chance to shine, he balled out. Like that's a dangerous team. Like I said, they're not a great team, but they're a really fucking good team.
Yes. So I'm sure, from the sounds of it, you watched that game then?
Yeah.
I picked that game over watching Buffalo and Tennessee because I felt like Buffalo was just going to freight train them, and they did. I wanted to watch, and I had, a little more interest in that Philly game because the kid I was playing in fantasy had Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
So I was more watching that. But that very last play that sealed the game for Philly when Slay picked that off in the end zone.
Yeah.
The play before that, he got up limping.
Yeah.
And he waved his backup off and then turns around, picks that ball off. That guy was a thorn in Green Bay's side when he was with Detroit.
Yep. Yeah, that dude's good. He's sneaky good. Yeah, that Philly's they're a team. All right, so we got the Falcons at the Seahawks. No reason to watch this game whatsoever. And it is a straight up pick 'em, half point. I guess it's a half point favorite for the Seahawks just because they're at home. Minus 110 either way on the money line. 42 for the over. I'd probably take the under, and that's it.
Under.
Probably.
If I had to throw money at that game,
I'd take under. Seahawks.
I'd go under in Atlanta.
You think so?
Mariota has been looking good. He just about brought him back against the Bills last week.
Yeah.
And Drake London is balling out, and that's that rookie receiver they just picked up.
Oh, yeah.
Cordell Patterson.
That man, if he would have ever landed on a team that knew how to use him, God, that dude is so good. Like he's one of those guys that, man, like if he would have landed on the right team, he'd be a Hall of Famer, like first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you line him up in the backfield on first down, you run him. Second down, you line him up in the backfield, you do a play action RPO kind of deal.
Yeah.
Let's say you pass it off. Third down, if you didn't pick it up, you line him up in the backfield.
Motion him out, slot receiver.
To the slot.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's how you play that kid. And Atlanta just doesn't know how to use him.
No, well, nobody ever really has. Like
I feel like didn't he come from New England?
No, even before that, he was up at Minnesota, and he was strictly their punt returner.
That's right.
Or their kick returner. And and he's really good there, but like he was never going to be like a Devin Hester. He's too big for that. Like he's Hester was just too slippery because he was small and super fast. Patterson's super fast, but he's also pretty big. And like he was Debo Samuel, or what's his, is it Sanders or Samuel? Debo
Samuel.
Yeah, he was Debo before Debo. Like that, like he's been in the league for like 10 years or some shit. Like he's been around a while.
In high school, he was a running back.
Yeah.
brought him to the NFL, they tried to move him out to a wideout, and now they're bringing him back to a receiver.
Yeah.
Or
and then he should have been a flex player the whole time. Not just like a fantasy flex, but just like an actual flex player. Just like where do you fit best? Running back, tight end, or wide receiver? Because you could probably do both.
Doesn't matter.
All of it. Yeah.
Get him the ball.
Yeah, and if he's not getting the ball, make sure people think he's getting the ball because he's a really good decoy. Yeah. That being said, the Falcons are terrible. So if gun to my head, if I got to put money on the money line, I'll take Seattle just because they're at home. But give me the under, and that's the only thing I'll legit bet on this game.
Geno has been playing really good.
Not bad for Geno Smith.
Really good football for Geno Smith. Yes, for Geno Smith.
Yeah,
really good football for who he is.
And for all those people that thought we were wrong Denver was wrong for getting rid of Drew Lock, just remember that Drew Lock has not beat out Geno Smith for the starting quarterback position in Seattle. So give me Russell Wilson all fucking day. I don't give a shit about Drew Lock. Fuck him.
But Russ hasn't done nothing this year either.
No.
I think that's more of a coaching issue, but
no, I think you're right.
Too.
Dude, Russell Wilson, as much as I hate him as a person, I think he's one of the most fake people on earth.
Yes.
As a quarterback, that dude is legit. That guy has proved it over and over. He's a legit winning quarterback in the NFL.
Probably number 10 on the top 10 list in current quarterbacks, but
yeah,
he's up there. Yes.
I'll give you that. But he's a guy that'll make the Hall of Fame, and he'll probably win at least one more Super Bowl before he's done. I would say. I don't know if it'll be with the Broncos.
Probably not with Denver.
We'll see. You never know. When Denver has good quarterbacks, Denver wins Super Bowls. Remember that.
You just said the word good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think Russell Wilson's a good quarterback.
Russ is decent.
I think Russell
might be right on that line of good and decent. He kind of floats in between them at times.
Either way. All right. Well, we'll put that aside, and I don't know. I'm not saying the Broncos will win Super Bowls, but they will be in Super Bowls. When the Broncos have good quarterbacks, they are in Super Bowls.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah. So, I think they'll be there. We got a final here. It is I think it was 23-17 Cleveland. 29-17. Damn you, Pittsburgh. Couldn't
Cleveland scored another one?
They must have. Was not paying much attention there, but and they got fucking Fitzmagic on the field for the Amazon.
Yep.
Like this is already my favorite announcing team, and like it puts the Manning cast on the back burner. I think this is the best one yet.
Really, really good cast for Amazon, but that's because they have a lot of money to throw around too.
That's true. At fucking Amazon almost bought the Broncos. I was really hoping they would because, man, they could have put so much money into them. But either way, they got the Walmart family in, so
yes.
But which makes sense why they got Russell Wilson, because he's the most plastic, fake, family-friendly character there is.
Walmart quarterback.
Yep. It makes perfect sense. I hate him, but he's a really good quarterback, I think. So we got the Rams at the Cardinals. Rams are minus 191. 3.5 on the spread, 48.5 for the over. Give me the over, hammer that over. And you know what? I'll throw a little bit of money on the Arizona money line. plus 155. Give me that.
Agreed.
I don't like the Cardinals, but I really don't like how the Rams have started at all. And I can tell that you're trying to take a leak over there, so I'll keep going until you get back. 3.5. I think this is probably a rematch or like a remake of last week's game with the Cardinals, where they get down early, come storming back, and win in the closing minutes or overtime. So we're talking a close game, probably a field goal. 48.5. So they're calling 49 for the total, -4. So you're talking like a 25-24 game, something like that. Yeah, give me the Cardinals at plus 155, a money line, and then give me the over. I don't know if I touch that spread. But I think the over should hit. Arizona will put up some points. Los Angeles can put up some points. And Arizona at home, coming off that huge overtime win. That's another. Kyler Murray's another guy I can't stand, but he's pretty damn good.
Did you watch that overtime game?
I watched just the overtime. It was
I saw because what was I was watching another game and it just switched over to that one just in time to see Kyler run in the 6 and then get the 2-point and then make what's his name fumble, pick up, and then the pick 6.
Yeah.
But
and then he got allegedly slapped in the face.
Yeah, I saw that video too, and it was like literally like hit his shoulder pad, bounced off his chin.
Yeah.
And he took steps and then turned around like I like Kyler just because as a college fan, I'm an OU fan. And he
of course you OU. Are. Of course you are.
Here we go.
No, I get people like Oklahoma, for whatever reason. I guess whatever. It's your thing. I don't get it, but Kyler, the guy's exciting, but he's also a midget and he gets hurt, and they put it in
defenses.
And they put it in his contract that he has to spend more time studying film and the playbook. Like that should never.
But so originally he had to watch 4 hours of game film. I can't remember if it was a day or a week in his original contract. And then he signed it, agreed to it, and then it became public, and then they took that out.
I saw that. Yeah, because people bitched enough about it.
Right. They didn't want to make it seem like he wasn't doing his job or whatever the hell they were trying to back out of. But it was pretty obvious week one that he doesn't know how to read defenses, so he's not watching the tape.
Right. Because that's the only quarterback in the league, particularly with any sort of a decent contract, that has that stipulation in there.
And doesn't know how to pick out the Mike linebacker that's on the edge that's about to break his damn leg. Matt's gone again. We got some technical difficulties.
Oh, here we are. Clicked the wrong button.
Maybe.
So the only thing I can remember close to that, and I don't know if it was in his contract or not, but was Paxton Lynch when he was with the Broncos. I knew that was a big deal. They gave him a bunch of shit for playing too many video games and not studying the playbook. But I don't know if they ever put it in his contract.
Probably not. Do you remember
probably not
Russell?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably would have been like 10 years ago, played for the Raiders.
Oh,
They
yeah.
thought that he wasn't watching game tape, so they gave him a blank VHS tape to watch.
I remember that.
He came back saying he watched it and he figured out how to read that defense. Like,
Yeah. Like, well, good, because there was nothing on that tape there, amigo.
right.
And he's like, no, nothing. No. Man, he lasted 2 years, something like that.
Some 2 or 3, something stupid like that, and then nobody ever picked him up again.
Yeah, number 1 overall pick, and yeah, he was awful. So you got the Cardinals on the money line, or you got them on the spread?
I'm gonna take a money line.
I think I'm gonna take a money line. I'll take the over.
Money line over.
Yeah, I'm gonna. That's a terrible spread. 3.5. I think I think they got it right where it should be, because I think that's a field goal game. I know it's either going to be late in the fourth quarter, or it's going to be overtime. But yeah, I think you're right. Give me Arizona money line and the over on that. Sunday night game is Niners at the Broncos. Broncos are plus 100 on the money line, minus 123 for the Niners, minus 1.5 on the spread. 44.5 is the over. Give me Broncos money line. Give me Broncos with the points, and I'm gonna tease that up to 50.5 and take the under.
Give me San Fran either way, and give me the under.
You think San Fran wins straight up?
Yes.
It's not a bad pick.
Or they win on the spread. It doesn't matter. Jimmy G's back. With Trey Lance being out. I don't know if you caught any of the highlights or watched that game, but after Trey Lance went out and Jimmy G came back in and balled out for him like he has, that is a guy that consistently wins games that should be won. He might, when he does lose games, it's them games that like everybody's like, I don't know, it's going to be pretty close. So, he's not. Jimmy G is a dang sure top 10 quarterback in my book. Like, he's got the arm, he's got the accuracy, he's got the football smarts, he's got the reads off. It doesn't matter if he walks up to the line, looks once, and hikes the ball, or if he walks up and does the Aaron Rodgers style, try to get the jump off line real quick so you can read the defense and pick it up. It doesn't matter with him. He knows how to read a defense. He's got the arm talent. He's got the football know-how. That guy wins games.
I'll give you that. I think the Niners are a way better team with Jimmy G. Even though it worked out in their favor signing him as a backup, I think it was a stupid idea to sign him as a backup and roll with Trey Lance. I think they should have just paid him a 1-year deal. Whatever the when they put the franchise tag on you, pay him whatever that is for 1 year, and then see what Trey Lance is. But worked out.
That's kind of exactly what they did. He was supposed to get $20 million this year.
Yeah,
they restructured his deal down to like 15 or 18. I can't remember which one, but they restructured it down to keep him as a backup. But their game plan was to wait till like hoping that somebody else's quarterback got hurt in preseason or week 2, 3, 4, somebody's quarterback went down. They really needed one. Then Jimmy could come in, if somebody really had to have one, and wanted a good one, they could get more out of him, and his pay was down enough where people would want to take him off their hands. That was a problem. They were
How
trying to
many
get
years did they
on.
sign?
I'm pretty sure that he just signed a 1 year for 15.
Oh, well.
Or 1 year for 8, something like that.
Okay, well,
restructured it to.
I'm still going to take the Broncos at even money on this. And I'm going to tease the over up to 50.5 and take then take the under. But I would say if Jimmy G's on a 1-year contract, fucking put some money on that dude because he's going to ball out. And Trey Lance may be out of a job. Like San Fran may just go ahead and back the truck up for him because he's a good enough quarterback for that team, especially with that defense. To like he's already shown like they can get deep in the playoffs with him. So why not? Like that if he can be good enough to let that defense win for him. It's not a bad formula.
If I remember correctly, San Fran can't really get rid of Trey Lance right now.
No, he's on his 2nd year contract, but they're not really out that much money on him.
Round, so they're almost stuck with him at the moment.
Well,
which is why they were trying to give him the go ahead this year, is to really find out like what are you?
Yeah.
Are you worth the 1st round pick that we spent on you?
Well, and as of now, that answer is no, because he has a snapped ankle. So,
yeah,
it's probably not looking great for old Trey Lance. Like he's gonna have to do some fucking miraculous shit next year to, and hope he gets traded. Mostly he's gonna have to hope he gets traded somewhere that gives him a chance to play, because I don't know, with that defense and Jimmy Garoppolo, like the Niners are still like looking at the rest of the NFC, they're right up there at the top. Yeah. Like and probably
3 or 4.
I would put them at a 1st round bye in the playoffs too.
You think they're going to win? Do you think they're going to have the number 1 seed going in?
1 or 2. I don't know if they'll be one seed, but I think they'll be. I would put them over the Rams for the NFC West, and I would say maybe it'd be either the Eagles or the Packers for the other contenders for the 1 seed. So I could easily see it being like Packers Niners at 1 and 2 for the playoff picture, or Eagles Niners 1 and 2, or Niners Packers 1 and 2, or Niners Eagles 1 and 2, or any combination of those 3. I think are going to be the 1 and 2 seed in the NFC. NFC's not great this year. AFC is stacked.
Holy cow! That anybody that comes, I feel like this year again, whoever comes out of the AFC into the Super Bowl is going to win.
Yeah. Whoever comes out of the AFC is going to be the favorite for sure. Like the AFC is going to be the favorite coming out of the playoffs, I would think, and probably like a touchdown favorite, I would think.
Right. Just because all of those are not, I can't say all, but more than not, that AFC is a little more well built for dogfights.
I think so too.
The side is
they're more
blowout.
I think so too. I think the only I think those 3 teams that I said, so like Philly and San Fran and Green Bay are those are the teams that are built for a dogfight. We'll see about Tampa. Tampa's got a really good defense still, so it'll be tough to say what they do on offense, but those are the teams that are really built to like if they have to go in like when it's snowing and just like do a pounded out game, those three could do it. But there's like 10 teams from the AFC that could do that. So I think I don't know, your odds on favorite are AFC winning the Super Bowl, but there's a few teams from the NFC that could do it, I think. Yeah. Cowboys at Giants, that's Cowboys are the favorites at -102. Spread is 1. Over is 39. I don't like any of that. I hate it. I'm not going to touch that game, even in a teaser, even if there's a fire.
Give me Giants.
That's probably a better bet, but yeah, I'm not touching that.
Saquon Barkley is the number 1 rushing back in the league right now.
Saquon is all they have.
Granted, Dallas's defense is good.
They do have a good defense.
Really good.
How's the Giants defense? It's not bad, right?
I mean, they're 2-0.
Yeah.
Dallas is 1-1.
There you go.
Cooper Rush is 1-0. Dak Prescott is 0-1. You tell me.
Yeah, that's true.
Quarterback is.
Well, I could see Dallas like blowing the doors off of the Giants on this game, and it'll give the Cowboys fans just enough ammunition to say, "This is our year. We them boys. We're gonna win it all this year." So, I mean, a gun to my head, give me Dallas on the money line, but I hate it. I don't like anything about that game.
I'm taking Giants straight up.
All right, fair enough. That's the Monday night game. Jesus Christ, that's a terrible Monday night game. Is now
Dallas,
yeah.
New York is a Monday night game?
Yeah. Yeah, because Denver
better to do with my time Monday.
Yeah, fuck that. So is ESPN now been relegated to the shit game of the week? Because that used to be Thursday night.
It appears
used to be every Thursday was like Jacksonville, New York Jets, or Detroit and
Atlanta,
yeah, or like Cleveland and Houston. Just like games that nobody wanted to watch. Not even their fans wanted to watch that game.
It's football, so we'll put it on for noise, I guess.
Yeah, but like even if you're like, say you're a diehard Brownies fan, and you're playing Houston on a Thursday night, you're just like, go Browns, but I don't really want to watch that game.
Right.
Just like fuck that. But now like Thursday night games are fun, and we got the Cowboys and the Giants of this year for Monday night. Man, like I'll just
switch it around a little bit on us.
I'll just skip the UFC fight on Saturday, and I'll just watch it on Monday, and that way I don't have to worry about the Cowboys and the Giants. I don't want anything about that game, so I won't bet it unless I'm down for the weekend. Like I'm gonna bet $20 for the Sunday games, and if I lose all of them, then I will bet the Cowboys money line. If not, then I'm going to stay away from it. If I win any sort of money this weekend, I'm staying away from that.
I feel bad for anybody that drafted Zeke.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you did, I don't feel that sorry for you, because you should have known better. You should have known better. But yeah, I feel your pain, but also I don't feel sorry. Like I understand, because when he's there, you got to take him, because on paper he puts up points. But yeah,
that's only on paper.
Yep, that's exactly right. Let's go through what's the lock of the week for you. We'll let me pull up the screen for a better visual, and we'll pop it up. But I think it's either going to be, for me, it's going to be the Colts or the Chiefs at the Colts. I think that's however you bet on the Chiefs for that one, you'll win. God damn it, my computer's slow. Anyhow, I don't know. That's not working. I think I think the Chiefs at the Colts, that's a and they've only got them at like a 5.5 point spread. Like, give me the Chiefs all fucking day. Give me that, whatever the over is with the Chiefs this year, until they prove otherwise. I'll take that, because they're gonna put up points. Bills Dolphins, that's a good game. But Buffalo at -5.5, that's not a bad place to take the Dolphins. I think the Bills win that straight up, but I could see the Dolphins covering that pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good spread bet there. Dolphins at -5.5, especially being at home in September. Like, it's going to be a hot motherfucker. I think it's like 88 or something at game time, plus the humidity. So, what was the other one that I saw that, Jaguars at the Chargers. Chargers are a 7-point favorite, over under at 47. Yeah. Give me that over. And yeah, probably give me the Chargers on the spread, just like straight up. I'm not going to buy shit on that. Just give me the over and the Chargers. I think those are the closest you're going to get for locks. I think is Jaguars at the Chargers and and Chiefs at the Colts. Particularly with that spread, that's 5.5 for Kansas City. Fuck yeah, give me all of that. Fuck that. The Colts haven't done a goddamn thing. They look terrible. Matty Ice looks like
the one they pull it out.
It might be. They might
got to play up.
They might go full Joe Biden on him and just pump him full of cocaine and Adderall, and he'll put on a good performance, or just enough of a performance where you think maybe he doesn't need to retire today. Like Jonathan tomorrow, Taylor's maybe
like 900 yards in that game.
That's their only chance they got.
Yes.
That's the only chance they got.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know this, but I will say, like we were talking before, like for the first 2 weeks, the NFL has played their fucking ass off. It's been fun to watch. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
If I got to go locks, I got 3 on mine.
Okay.
I got to go Detroit over Minnesota.
That was the one. That was the other one you had.
I feel like Detroit has been playing their ass off, and Minnesota had one okay game.
Yeah, and then Kirk Cousins shit the bed.
Terrible game.
He shit the bed so hard. His receiver shit the bed. Like, everybody shit the bed. Yeah. The only reason I'm not gonna put that as a lock is because it's at home, and it's an early game, so nobody is gonna be fucking watching. So Kirk Cousins might just go bananas. But I'm also not betting anything on that game. So, but yeah, I think the Chiefs at the Colts and the other one, whatever the fuck it was. Damn it. Can't keep him straight. Chiefs at the Colts and we forgot about Philly at Washington. That was another one that I.
That's my second one. I got.
Yeah, so mine was Jaguars at the Chargers. So if I had to do a third, it'd be Eagles at Washington. Yeah.
I got Detroit, Philly, and Chargers. That's my three.
All right. So I got Kansas City, Philly, and the Chargers. Those are mine. So
if you got to pick one, what's your closest game?
Closest game, I'll say Philly at Washington, because Carson Wentz has been
not out of those three.
Closest. Give me Packers Bucks. That's
where I'm going to.
I think that's going to be a dogfight, and
I think that's going to be a game.
I think that's going to be a really good game. Bills Dolphins too. I think that's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I do have to agree there.
I don't know if I won't pick it as the closest. But I think it's going to be that's probably going to be the most fun to watch is the Bills Dolphins. Closest, I'll give it Ravens Patriots. I think that's probably going to be, it's going to, at the most, I think that's going to be a field goal game.
I have a feeling that's going to be the biggest blowout.
It also has the potential to be that. But being at New England, I'll say that could be the closest game. It's either the closest game or it's the biggest blowout. Yeah.
I feel like that game's going to go Ravens' way, and they're just going to run off with it from the start. And this is going to be Bill Belichick's last year as a head coach.
Oh, hot take. Hot take here on the Burning Daylight podcast. I don't know if we can endorse that, but I like the sentiment. I like it. Who scores the most points this weekend?
Ooh, shit, that's tough.
Let's see. Well, as of right now, we've got the Browns at 29 points. That's not going to stand.
No,
that will not stand. Texans and the and the Bears. There's an off. Close. No, I don't think so. There's an off chance that I'd say if anybody was gonna break or to hit 30 points, I'd say it was the Texans, but I doubt that happens. Highly doubt that.
Be a 21-17 game.
Yeah, I think that's on the high end. I think you're looking at like a 17-10.
I'm looking highest points for the weekend per team or per game?
Per team, I think.
I guess it doesn't matter either way. I'm going Bills Dolphins game. I say Bills.
Yeah, I think that's the most sure over.
48 or 49. We'll go 49.
Okay, so the over-under on the Bills Dolphins is 52.5, and I think they hit that over.
Oh, guarantee it.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be 6-play drives with pretty much a touchdown every other drive. 49 to 40. 49-42 game, and I'm going Bills.
I can see that.
Bills.
Yeah, I got Bills. I'll take the Dolphins with the points. Like I said, I think that's a that's a one-score game, and I think it's more of a field goal game. But yeah, I think that's the best bet you have for the over. I think that's the high-scoring game, hands down. Don't sleep on the Jets and the Bengals for the over, because if you remember, the Jets and the Browns went 31-30 in overtime. So the Bengals can put up some points, even though Joe Burrow is running for his life.
I was about to say that's two garbage defenses, but then we're going right back to the same point of two garbage defenses.
Yeah, exactly. So if Joe Burrow can get enough time to throw it to Jamar Chase, they will put up some points, because it's like I think it's 1A, 1B as far as best receivers in the NFL right now, and it's Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Like, those two are fucking so good. So good.
Both them teams just need to, like, if in the first 3 drives, if you can't get a deep pass to him, start running some screens.
Yeah, something. Get the ball in his hands, because they'll make shit happen. But that would be my dark horse for the over is Bengals Jets, because I could see that being a runaway.
I still feel like that's going to be an under game to me.
It could be. Like, it could very well be like a 6-3 game, but it also could be like a 41-40. And both, Flacco have 5 touchdowns and Joe Burrow has 6,
Right.
So who knows? I will say, though, NFL's back. Like, they're back. It's been a good season, and I'm excited to watch the rest of it.
Very much so.
Yeah. So, all right. Anything else we need to cover before we head out? Any college locks?
College locks. Ooh.
I got nothing, because I don't watch college much. So
I'm gonna say Appalachian State wins again.
Dude, yeah, go App State. Like, win until you don't win. Like, I'll put money on you until you prove me wrong.
I don't know what they are on this year, but somebody's feeding them some grow pup or something. I don't know.
It seems like the Cinderella story, and I want to root for it. So, like, let's just make it happen. Just like, we'll put money on App State until they prove us wrong.
Either that, or who does Washington play?
Let's see. We'll
because they annihilated Michigan State last weekend.
Oh, that's right. Like, yeah, they kind of came out of, I won't say out of nowhere, but they were kind of turning some heads, because they won week 1 against somebody pretty big, and then they fucking smoked, like curb stomped Michigan State.
And if like we were talking about Michaels and Herb Street being really good at talking about the game while it's going. If you're gonna watch a Saturday college football game, watch anything that RG3 is commentating.
Oh, really?
Because that dude has some one-liners every game.
Nice. Good for RG3, dude.
Yeah.
As a Bronco fan. Oh, go ahead.
Quarterback for Washington is his last name is Penix. Penix.
No,
and like in the middle of the game, RG3 says he's got that big Penix energy.
That's awesome. And he had to been like looking at his guy like, yeah, right.
And in the middle of that game, he says they're having an orgy in the end zone. Just RG RG3 has some one-liners in the middle of all of his games that he announces, but if you're gonna watch a game for anything, watch anything that Griffin is commentating.
Nice. All right, so I got pulling up the top 25. I didn't pull up the scoreboard yet, but Washington's in the top 25 now, aren't they?
They should be now that they're undefeated and they've beat at least one ranked school. I don't remember if week 1 was a ranked school or not.
I can't remember either.
If they are, they're probably going to be like 21 or 22, I bet.
I clicked on the wrong thing. My computer's slow. Either way, it doesn't matter that much. College football is coming up on, well, I guess it's probably, we had something going on tonight, and there we are. Rankings. That's where we're looking for. I looked for standings, and then it showed me by conference. So I don't care.
Look at FB rankings.
Yeah, I don't care about Conference USA rankings. Yeah, what do they call it nowadays? It used to be FBS because it was the bowl system. All right, so we got Georgia. Apparently, Georgia is like really fucking good again.
Yes.
Alabama
just Bama's 2.
Bama's 2, and Bama just barely beat Texas at home, and Texas is not good. So that I don't have.
Texas would have won that.
That'd have been awesome.
Texas as an OU fan, but I really wish Texas would have won that because I think I hate Bama more than I hate Texas.
And I don't even hate Bama that much. I just hate Nick Saban because he's so fucking good. Like,
I hate them both because how do you consistently wind up with the top 85 fucking recruits every year?
Right.
Before all of this NIL deal bullshit happened, how do you wind up with those kids?
Yeah. Well, it's clever recruiting is what they say.
Something.
Ohio State at 3. Michigan needs to play somebody for real so we can see how good they actually are, because they beat my home school, Colorado State, 51-7, but that's not saying much. Colorado State is god awful. So
they're ranked like 785.
Ooh. They've got to be, I think there's like 113 or there might be a few more. It might be like 130 Division I teams, and we're in the bottom 10, I would bet you.
Probably.
They're terrible. They used to be like in the middle of the pack, like in like the 40 to 50 range, but that it's been a long time since they were in that range.
That was probably when I was in high school then.
Probably because it'd been when I was in college. We were never really. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. They were in the top 25 for a minute, but it didn't last long. Yeah, they're not ever going to be good. So I don't really root for them anymore because if I root for them, then I get my heart broke, and I know that they're not going to win. So I'm not going to get my heart broke willingly.
Right.
So
you're happy when they win, but you're not going out of your way to be like, oh yeah, you guys got it this week.
Yeah. All right. So in the AP, Washington is now at number 18, and who did they play before? That's what we were looking at, right? Because who are they playing this week?
I don't know. We were looking at who they played.
Oh, that's right.
Or last week. No,
okay, so they beat Kent State, they beat Portland State, and they smashed Michigan State 39-28, and then they play Stanford this week. So, all right.
Stanford got a decent team, so that might be a good game. I think Washington runs away with that.
I think so too, but it's a night game, but it's not a it's like it's 7:30 Pacific, I think is how they're showing it on my screen. So it's a 4:30 Eastern game. Like, so that's like, it's not a prime time game, but it's like right almost prime time.
Right.
So yeah, but I don't know. I don't know much about Stanford, but just based off of what Washington's done and what I've heard, they'll probably run away with it. But I don't know. I don't follow college football enough anymore to really tell. So any other, how are your Sooners going to do? They beat Nebraska, so.
They beat Nebraska handier than I thought they were. I thought Nebraska would put up a little more of a fight than that, like they did last year. But they kind of just laid down and choked on it. Yes.
I actually put a little bit of money on Nebraska versus the spread, just because because they fired Scott Frost, which they should have done a while ago. But so I thought maybe they'd come out fired up, and they did for about a quarter, and then it fizzled out pretty quick.
I don't know. In my personal opinion, I feel like Frost needed to be able to finish this year, but I think the defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator needed to be rearranged. Not necessarily in the building, but they needed gone first.
Yeah.
Obviously, the coaching change didn't make a difference. So
no, it didn't do much.
Tells you something. Which the guy that they had as the intern played for Nebraska a long time ago.
Yeah.
And got hurt playing against Oklahoma and ruined his career. He was fixing to be a first-round draft pick, in my opinion. And got hurt, ruined his career, tore up his knee, blah, blah, blah. Mickey Joseph is absolutely football. But when you have the guys that are doing their jobs not doing their jobs, like I've seen a lot of talk about Nebraska wanting Urban Meyer in. Well, you got rid of Scott Frost because you said he was late to practice every day, drinking too much, and whatever else. But then you're looking at Urban Meyer, like you're going.
He might finger your wife's butthole at a bar, you know, if he has a chance,
probably
you know.
Might. He's probably going to.
Yeah.
Like, you go from Scott Frost to Urban Meyer, you're jumping off the deep end at that point, in my opinion. I don't know. Urban Meyer, I don't think is worth the time of day.
But he's probably going to win you a national championship, though.
Not at Nebraska.
No, I don't think he will at Nebraska either. Well, give him 5 years and he might. I mean, he almost did it.
I don't know.
He almost did it at Utah before it was in a Power 5 conference.
Right. Part of the reason they got rid of Frost is because he wasn't doing his recruiting job or whatever.
Urban
is the only upside to Urban Meyer versus Scott Frost in what the media has portrayed so far is that Urban Meyer will recruit, but you're still looking at 5 to 6 years.
No, what I think, and this is just me coming from the Colorado side of things, and you'll have to tell me. I was just more than anything kind of wondering how people in Nebraska are feeling things, because Nebraska loves them some Cornhusker football. That's all they got. I think you got to have somebody from Nebraska to take them into, like, to keep them relevant on the college football. So, like, I understand why they were so, you know, like, kind of slow to fire Scott Frost, even though he wasn't working. But, like, you've got to have, like, that Tom Osborne or somebody, you know, somebody that has been in the Nebraska system and, like, that really wants to bring Nebraska back to a national, because Urban Meyer don't give a fuck about Nebraska, you know? Like, if you pay him enough money, he might win, but he's not out to like bring Nebraska back. You know, he's like,
Right.
he's out to win another national championship for Urban Meyer. Like, you need somebody that wants Nebraska to be good, not just because they're coach, but they want Nebraska to be good because they're from Nebraska.
So to play off that a little bit, keep Mickey Joseph. Dude played for Nebraska.
Yeah, like that's a guy you need, but you want him to be good. Like, you want him to
drink Nebraska. But you need to get rid of your offensive coordinator. You need to get rid of your defensive coordinator. You need to get rid of your special teams. Obviously, those are the guys that are not doing their jobs. If the head coach was not there, shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
If you're the coordinator of a position, you should have your guys lined out.
Well, and you should have your black shirts.
Call the plays.
And then what you're known for is your defense, the black shirts. Like get you some fucking black shirts, you know? Like, it doesn't matter who the head coach is, like that's your number one thing. Get you some black shirts, like some legit black shirts, because that's what you're known for. So get back to that. Like, it's the same way like Penn State. When's the last time they've not had a stud linebacker? 1930, maybe?
Probably. Yeah.
Maybe. Like, you look at every graduating class they've had, and they've had like just a stud, flat-nosed, hard-headed fucking white boy linebacker. Like, that's what they're known for. Nebraska's been known as just like what they need is like Ndamukong Suh to come back and be head coach. You know, like you need somebody like that like knows Nebraska. And
I think also that's where Mickey Joseph is gonna, if they give him the chance, blow this whole thing up, because he played for him, but he was the offensive side.
Yeah.
So he can bring in guys that know the defense side, can build that up, but he can be the one head coach that's been there, done that for Nebraska, and build that offense to be the powerhouse that they used to be when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, I grew up in Iowa, so that's why kind of like, Iowa, the Hawkeyes are my number 3 on my list. I got Oklahoma, then I got Wisconsin, then I got Iowa. That's my top 3 for college teams. But since I can remember, Oklahoma's always been that team. And that's why I picked Green Bay, because Iowa doesn't have an NFL team.
Yeah.
So that was who I grew up watching and I thought was worth, me wanting to put effort into. We had Favre, we had Donald Driver, Bubba Franks, guys like that.
Sterling Sharp, come on.
Sterling Sharp, yeah.
Yeah.
And, it was just like those are the guys that stood out to me. And it wasn't necessarily just like they're good. It was like, these guys can play football.
Right. Well, and it was a mentality. And that's and that's the thing I'm talking about with Nebraska is like everybody knew is like you're going up to Lincoln, it's going to be cold as fuck, and these guys are going to hit you so hard, even on the offensive side, because they don't throw the ball. They just fucking run it down your throat. Right. And like Nebraska, I mean, they had Taylor Martinez for 7 years, it seemed like.
Something stupid like that, yeah.
And like that guy is the most fragile spread quarterback ever. Like he's the farthest thing away from Nebraska Cornhusker football that I could think of. But like that was their guy for it seemed like forever. I mean, he had almost an NFL career lengthwise in college. Right.
Well, and you look at his stats. You got guys lining up on the outside that are go route guys, potentially. Have the speed, have the ability to just bust defenses open, but you have Taylor Martinez in the backfield trying to throw you passes where he only looks at his check down guys.
Yeah.
Where does that make sense? Where in any
right.
world does that make sense?
And then the
Or
last
he's gonna take
time,
off and run.
the last time the Huskers were nationally relevant in the playoff picture, national championship picture, was when they were in the Big 12, and Ndamukong Suh and I forget who the other lineman was. Nobody heard about them until all of a sudden it was the Big 12 championship, and Ndamukong Suh almost decapitated Colt McCoy.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden they're like, holy shit, where did this Nebraska team come from? That's Nebraska. Like
they've been doing it all year.
That's the Nebraska team that like that's their team. Like that's their identity. And but they haven't been that since Ndamukong Suh, and they were in the Big 12, but they were the last like defensive team in the Big 12. Now you look like you look at a Big 12 game and you can expect like a 45-42 game every single week from every team. And the last time they had a defensive like powerhouse, it was Nebraska before they left. Yep. And but then Nebraska left, and they haven't I don't know what they've tried to do, but like they've not tried to be Nebraska.
They've tried to mix too much of both worlds.
Yeah. I don't know. I just be Nebraska, because if you got a really solid defense that just rips everybody's face off, it doesn't matter how good your offense is really at that point. If you just have a dominant defense, just go win with that.
Yeah. You have a standout defense and a somewhat mediocre offense.
Yeah.
You're going to win more games than you lose.
That's what you're known for. Go do that.
Yes.
Yeah. Stop trying to be cute and run the spread offense. No, like, fuck that. Like, go get your defense first and then worry about your offense. Just go line that defensive line with the nastiest motherfuckers you can, because that's what Nebraska's known for.
You can put up more points than anybody that you face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go make sure they put up more points than you.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's where Mickey Joseph is going to, if they give him a chance, he's going to revamp the Nebraska offense. And being an OU fan, I've always hated Nebraska. All of my in-laws and my wife and the boys are all Nebraska fans. So when we got lucky and beat them because of the Nick Benito one-handed pick last year to seal it, and then this year when we just dirty stomped all over them, like, I'm trying not to laugh in front of everybody, but I am, because I'm an OU fan, so that's kind of, I gotta love my team. But looking from the outside, I thought they needed to give Scott Frost another 2 years, because you really handed him nothing.
Yeah.
You gave him the reins to a horse that is so hard-mouthed that you couldn't go gather a pear on an acre.
And this is talking football on the Working Cowboy podcast like it's supposed to be talked here. Like, I like that. Like, yeah, you can put whatever bit you want in their mouth, but they're still going where they want to, because they don't feel shit.
Right. Somebody's ruined him for so long that you can't get your job done. So what do?
Yeah.
You go rebuild your entire string to do the job that you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you don't, like, if you're going to rebuild, fucking clean house, start over new, and then reevaluate after the next year. But like, don't try to hold on to the past. Like, if you're going to try for a new look, just fucking clean house. Be like, all those old guys that have served you so long, just be like, hey, here's a handsome retirement package, but we got to go somewhere else. Sorry, man. Not like you're not in our game plan. But no, they like keep trying to like pussyfoot around it. So like they like, this guy was a Husker back in my granddaddy's days, so we got to keep him around. I'm like, well, he doesn't fit at all into what you're trying to do now, but we can't let go of him because he's a Husker at heart. Do you want to win or do you not want to win?
Right. That's like going and picking up a Hancock Colt and him piling in the dirt 10 times and you can't even open a gate on him. So you sell him and then you go buy something else that's Hancock bred.
There you buy his brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, where do you think you're going any different?
Yeah.
And I'm not dogging on them Hancocks because them are dirty, tough motherfuckers. But I'm just, laying it out in cowboy terms, more or less. You can't dog on one and then do the same thing right over again. But I think that's where Mickey Joseph breaks at.
Fair enough.
They need to keep him. Get rid of everybody else. Let him have his pick of the litter of who he wants as, other ends of the deal. Who do you want to run the offense? Who do you want to run the defense? Who do you want to be your quarterback coach? Who do you want to be your fucking special teams? Who do you want to be your linebacker? Who do you want to be your receiver coach? Obviously, what you have had is not working.
Yeah.
So
let's try something else.
Give somebody that bled Nebraska a chance to rebuild this. Give him 3 years. You're going to have to give him 3 years.
No, well, like give him the rest of this year and then 3 years, I would say.
Right.
Like,
because this year don't really count.
Because these aren't any of his players at all. He didn't have, but he maybe had something to say with the recruiting, but probably not. Probably had nothing to say with any of the recruiting class. So yeah, this year, let him finish out this year and then give him 3 years. Like, hey, you're Nebraska. Let's go. Bring Nebraska back.
Right.
Oh, what was the game I saw? It was Florida at Tennessee. That's going to be a fun game. I think so too. I think Tennessee might be back. I hope so. I hope so. Tennessee's a fun college football team when they're good. So I'd like to see that. I'd like to hear a lot more Rocky Top playing.
You bet.
Yeah.
They've looked good their first 2 games, and I think with what they've got going on, I think Tennessee's going to be a really good team this year.
I think so. I don't think they really win much. I don't think they I don't think they'll be in the playoffs, and honestly, nobody gives a shit outside the playoffs. So I don't think their head
really
coach.
Hard to say that when there's only a 4-team playoff.
I know it fucking sucks. The thing that pains me the most is I used to make fun of all those fuckers back in the day, talking about how a playoff system would be terrible because it would just degrade the bowl system. But they were 100% right. I love the playoff system if there were more teams.
Yes.
But the fact that they went to the playoff system because that's what everybody wanted, and now nobody gives a solid fuck about any of the bowls. Like I don't give a fuck.
Not even the teams that are playing in them.
No, not even the people that play in them, because they're like, "Am I getting paid for this? No. Okay, fuck you. I'm not risking it, and I don't blame them because why would you? It means nothing. It means nothing."
Cool. So, we won the Hertz Rent-A-Car Bowl. Wow.
I think we're gonna end up with like 4 divisions. It's gonna be like just the Northeast and South division. Northwest, East, and South divisions, and I think that the SEC is gonna not exist. I think the Big Ten's not gonna exist, and they're eventually gonna do like a 32 team playoff, and it'd be 8 teams from each region.
I feel like with as many as in there, 18 teams would be the way to go.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Do a 16-team playoff with 2 play-in games.
Yep.
I don't hate it. It's just like how, yeah. I mean, college basketball does it. So figure it out, NCAA. Right. That's what I say.
I mean, that's what y'all are paid for, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, and then you can still get the bowl game thing in. It's like, oh, the Poinsettia Bowl is now the 1 versus 16 playoff.
Right.
Who gives a fuck? But you still get some
bowl games as playoff games.
Right. Exactly. I don't know. I was just looking through the schedule, and I think that's the game to watch is Florida at Tennessee. Outside of that, I got nothing.
I haven't really looked into the college slate too heavy this weekend. I think that whoever Appalachian State plays, I think is probably going to be a pretty decent game.
Yeah.
Because they played spoiler fairly heavily lately.
I could see App State as national championship within the next 10 years. The trajectory they're on, because I can remember when they beat Michigan at the Big House here like 10 years ago or something like that, and then they beat K-State at K-State, and then they beat a couple others, like big time before they're even Division I. So I don't know. Keep an eye on them.
I like anybody that Wyoming plays. I like Wyoming to win that game.
There you go. They're playing BYU, so that'll be some good odds. But
give me Wyoming.
Anyway, man, I'm about to piss my pants, and I know it's pretty late where you're at, so we'll call that a night, huh?
We're burning fucking daylight.
Fucking A. You were right on the money, Kayne Boswell. Kanye Boswell. Go follow him on Facebook and Instagram. And yeah.
I don't have Instagram no more. I do have finally got a TikTok.
Oh, there you go.
My Instagram got hacked, so I went to TikTok instead.
There you go. TikTok. Kayne Boswell, Kanye Boswell, as we know him on the Burning Daylight Network. But anyway, good visiting with you, amigo.
You bet. Anytime.
All right. Later, fellas. Go bet some money on football because football's awesome.
Go, Pack, go.
Boom.
Your eyes up in the morning beneath the stars so bright. Pull your hat down, make sure your cinch is tight. Horses kinda snuffy, cold chill up your spine. We'll get your ass moving, son, we're burning daylight. Burning daylight. Burning daylight. In the saddle till the job's done right. Just together, and you won't catch 'em all. But when you ride through the gate, make sure you sit up tall. I can see the horizon, it's looking pretty bright. Well, get your ass moving, son, we're burning daylight.